January 17th isn't just another day. It's when history left bold fingerprints. Giants were born, legends vanished, and stories etched themselves into America's soul. Some shook the world with ideas. Some with fists. Some with laughter. Some with sheer audacity. Some with crime. Some with voices that could silence a room or ignite the sky. Today, we're not listing birthdays or anniversaries. We're stepping into the lives of 10 Americans who made this day unforgettable. Inventors, actors, fighters, politicians, rebels, heroes. Each carved paths through genius, courage, and defiance. Benjamin Franklin ignited revolutions with curiosity. Betty White turned humor into immortality. James Earl Jones made silence thunder. Muhammad Ali fought injustice with fists and words. Al Capone dazzled and warned. Barbara Jordan shook a nation. Clyde Tombaugh reached the stars. Art Buchwald wielded laughter as truth. Evelyn Nesbit lived fame's glitter and shadow. Andy Griffith Jr. built worlds behind the scenes. By the end, you won't just know their names. You'll feel their drive, struggles, and echoes that ripple today. Buckle up. January 17th isn't a date. It's proof that audacity, courage, and vision can change the world forever. Stick around. These next stories will make you rethink what true greatness looks like. Imagine a mind so brilliant it ended up on money. And 3 centuries later, people still talk about it. Benjamin Franklin, born January 17, 1706, inherited no wealth. Only relentless curiosity. Curiosity became his superpower. He danced with electricity, co-wrote the Declaration of Independence, and invented tools we still use today. Bifocals, lightning rods, public libraries. Franklin's genius wasn't just inventions. He believed knowledge should belong to everyone. He tracked his habits, studied human behavior, and pushed himself beyond limits. Discipline, intelligence, and imagination were his weapons. He didn't fire a single bullet, yet he helped forge a nation. Science, democracy, and culture still hum with his influence. He showed that intellect can build empires, curiosity can spark revolutions, and ideas can outlast centuries. January 17th didn't just bring a man into the world. It introduced a mind that transformed it. From playful experiments with lightning to shaping nations with words, Franklin proves greatness is earned, explored, and shared. Every corner of modern America whispers his legacy. Vision paired with courage can leave a mark history itself cannot erase. Up next, a woman whose laughter could light up an entire nation. You won't believe her secret to immortality. Betty White didn't just live long. She lived legendary. Born January 17, 1922, she became one of America's most beloved television icons. Yet her path wasn't easy. In a time when women were told to stay quiet, she spoke up. She took risks, stayed funny, and reinvented herself for decades. From the Golden Girls to game shows to late-night TV, she proved humor never ages. Her magic wasn't only laughter. She treated everyone with dignity and devoted decades to animal welfare. Kindness, courage, and persistence defined her. Working well into her 90s, she proved passion doesn't expire. Betty White became more than an actress. She became a symbol of joy, resilience, and unstoppable spirit. January 17th gave the world a woman who reminded everyone to laugh, fight, and shine, no matter the years behind you or the odds ahead. She didn't just entertain. She inspired generations to live boldly, to persist, and to cherish life with humor, warmth, and heart. Her legend proves that joy is contagious. Laughter is revolutionary, and age is no barrier to greatness. Coming next, a voice so powerful it could command entire worlds.
Most potent, grave, and reverend signors.
That voice. You hear it and instantly recognize power. Darth Vader. Mufasa. Kings and gods. James Earl Jones, born January 17, 1931, didn't start with authority. He began with a stutter so severe he barely spoke as a child. Most would have stayed silent. Jones refused. Through poetry, discipline, and sheer determination, he transformed weakness into dominance. That same voice later commanded theaters, screens, and hearts worldwide. Jones broke barriers across film, stage, and television, winning awards and admiration across generations. He became the embodiment of authority, wisdom, and charisma, not by birth, but by courage. His story delivers a timeless lesson. Limitations do not determine destiny. January 17th celebrates a man who turned silence into thunder. Persistence, artistry, and self-belief can transform even the quietest beginnings into monumental legacies. From stuttering child to iconic voice, Jones proves that fear is temporary. Greatness is cultivated, not given. His life reminds us that the boldest expressions often rise from the most vulnerable origins. Even the softest whisper can shake the world. Next, a man whose fists and words changed the course of history. January 17, 1942. The birth of a man who wasn't just a boxer. Muhammad Ali was a movement. Inside the ring, he was lightning fast, fearless, unstoppable. Outside, he was outspoken, daring, and controversial. He refused to follow the crowd, even when it cost him titles, money, and years of his career. Ali stood for civil rights, religious freedom, and identity during a time America wasn't ready to hear. "I am the greatest," he declared, before the world believed it, and then he made them see it. He didn't just fight opponents. He fought injustice, inequality, and fear itself. Ali proved greatness isn't measured by punches or medals. It's about standing for something larger than yourself. His courage roared louder than his fists, and his words landed harder than gloves. January 17th gifted the world a man whose defiance and brilliance transcended sport. From Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali, he lived on his own terms. He inspired generations to fight, to speak, and to believe that audacity can reshape the world. His legacy proves that standing up matters more than standing still. The pen, the voice, and the fist can all leave an echo history remembers. And now, a name that dazzled with danger, and warns us still. Not all legends are heroes. Al Capone, born January 17, 1899, became America's most notorious gangster. During Prohibition, he ruled Chicago with wealth, power, and fear. Rising from nothing, he built an empire that dazzled and terrified alike. Yet his downfall didn't come from bullets. It came from carelessness, greed, and the law catching up. Capone's story reflects the darker side of ambition. Brilliance paired with corruption. He mastered influence, intimidation, and spectacle, proving that audacity can command attention, even if morality is absent. January 17th brought a legend to admire cautiously. Capone reminds us that power without discipline collapses. Charisma without conscience can destroy as much as it dazzles. Some legacies aren't celebrated, they warn. He remains a symbol of boldness, risk, and the seductive allure of the forbidden. History remembers not only heroes but those who dared dangerously. Next, a voice that made the nation stop and listen. Barbara Jordan's voice didn't just speak, it shook a nation. She died January 17, 1996, but her words still reverberate. As a civil rights leader and U.S. Congresswoman, she fought for justice, equality, and the Constitution. During the Watergate hearings, her speeches reminded the nation that democracy must be defended, even from within. She proved integrity can speak louder than anger, and principles matter more than popularity. Jordan's courage wasn't performative. It was relentless, principled, and inspiring. January 17th marks the loss of a voice that demanded accountability. It shows that true power lies in standing for what's right, even when no one is watching. Her legacy teaches that leadership isn't about titles. It's about action, conviction, and the courage to challenge the status quo. Barbara Jordan transformed words into weapons for justice, proving influence is measured by the change it sparks and the conscience it awakens. Her echoes remind us that speaking truth can shake even the most immovable institutions. Next, a man who reached the stars from a Kansas farm. Clyde Tombaugh looked up when others looked around. He died January 17, 1997, but his legacy still glimmers in the stars. Without a formal degree at first, his passion for astronomy led him to discover Pluto in 1930, expanding humanity's understanding of the cosmos. Tombaugh proves curiosity, persistence, and vision can break barriers, even when traditional paths seem closed. He observed, calculated, and imagined beyond what others considered possible. His life reminds us that innovation often comes from relentless observation and daring to see the invisible. January 17th marks the passing of a man who proved that curiosity can reach the stars and imagination can touch infinity. From a farm in Kansas to the edge of the solar system, Tombaugh's story shows that exploration isn't reserved for the privileged. It's earned by those bold enough to look up, question, and pursue what others overlook. His legacy encourages us to search, discover, and leave footprints across the universe. Coming up, laughter sharper than any sword. Art Buchwald wielded humor as a weapon and truth as ammunition. He died January 17, 2007. Through satire and writing, he exposed hypocrisy, politics, and culture with wit sharper than swords. Buchwald showed that comedy isn't just entertainment, it's a lens to see the world fearlessly. He challenged authority with laughter, proving ridicule can cut deeper than anger. His words made people think while they smiled, leaving a legacy where intellect meets irreverence. Buchwald's humor wasn't empty. It was purpose wrapped in wit, delivering insight disguised as laughter. January 17th reminds us that courage can arrive softly, in laughter's form, yet its impact can be monumental. Art Buchwald transformed amusement into awakening, proving that the sharpest critique is sometimes the one that makes you laugh. His life teaches that influence doesn't need force. It can arrive in joy, intelligence, and fearless truth delivered with a grin. His legacy reminds us that laughter can illuminate, confront, and inspire change all at once. Next, a celebrity whose fame was both glitter and shadow. Evelyn Nesbit was one of America's first true celebrities. She died January 17, 1967. Her life entwined glamour and tragedy. Early fame, beauty, and media obsession, her story revealed the dark side of celebrity long before social media existed. She captivated audiences, inspired envy, and endured scandal. Nesbit's legacy warns of fame without protection, showing how public adoration can carry private cost. Her life was a cautionary tale of allure, ambition, and vulnerability. She dazzled the world, yet her personal struggles remind us that not all brilliance shines without shadow. January 17th marks the passing of a woman whose story reflected both allure and caution. Legends are not always celebrated. Sometimes they are lessons. Evelyn Nesbit teaches that fame can illuminate and consume, and that history often remembers not just triumphs, but the fragile lives behind the glitter. And finally, a man who shaped generations behind the scenes. Andy Griffith Jr. worked behind the scenes to shape American television. He died January 17, 1996. His influence wasn't in the spotlight but in crafting stages, storytelling, and family-centered entertainment that defined generations. Griffith's work reminds us that not all legends stand in front. Some build the foundation for others to shine. Through dedication, creativity, and vision, he shaped how America laughed, cried, and connected on the small screen. His contributions were subtle but transformative, leaving an imprint on culture that endures today. January 17th marks the loss of a man who made the invisible visible, proving legacy isn't measured by fame alone, but by the lives you touch and the stories you help tell. Andy Griffith Jr.'s quiet genius reminds us that impact often comes in ways unseen, shaping the world not with fanfare but with craftsmanship, heart, and vision. His work shows that the greatest influence sometimes lives behind the curtain, yet echoes forever. Now, the lessons all these legends leave for anyone daring to dream. January 17th delivers more than birthdays or deaths. It delivers lessons in courage, genius, resilience, audacity, and humility. From Franklin's curiosity to Betty White's laughter, Ali's defiance to Capone's cautionary tale, and from voices that shook the world to minds that reached the stars, this date reminds us that greatness wears many faces. Some legends inspire. Some warn. Some teach. All leave a mark. They prove that one day, one life, can ripple through history forever. Next time January 17th comes, remember, it's more than a date. It's proof of what humans can achieve, endure, and dream. From daring ambition to quiet genius, audacity to perseverance, this day celebrates the extraordinary variety of human legacy. Because greatness isn't about the day you're born. It's about what you do before your day ends. Every choice, risk, and action can echo far beyond the clock, leaving marks that history will remember, inspiring courage, curiosity, and audacity in all who follow. Let January 17th remind you, every life has the power to echo through history. What will yours inspire? Remember, every life has the power to echo through history. What will your January 17th inspire?